Top 10 parent questions with Cassie from the manager of the community advocate team group that actually deals with parents. So Cassie's team answers every single parent question that comes into Treering. So I can't think of anybody better to partner with on this question.
Thanks,
Parents are really
Erica.
nice.
Yeah, parents are gonna ask questions, especially, if you're just getting started with tree ring or your school is just starting to use custom pages. It can be kind of a foreign concept for people to really get to customize their book. And so there's a lot of questions. So we want to prepare you to be able to answer those at the same time.
The number one getting started question for parents when they're joining a Treering school is, where do I find my school passcode?
So the parents, they don't have the school passcode unless you share it with them. Your school passcode, as a chief editor, you'll go in through the promote your yearbook section, and then once you are there, in your tools, the passcode is on the top left. This is what uniquely identifies your school in Treering. You also have the purchase link and the QR code, both of which have the passcode embedded in it. But the passcode, make sure that if you're communicating anything about the yearbook, include that with it. Print it out, give a copy to the people in the office because parents are going to call in and they're going to just ask at random, what's the passcode to order the yearbook. So just make sure that you have that available when you're communicating about the yearbook.
I'm going to ask a follow-up question because this did come up twice on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Does my passcode change every year?
It does not. Your passcode is never going to change. If you started with us back in 2012, your passcode is still the same now. There's unless you specifically requested for some reason to have it changed, it's going to stay exactly the same.
Okay, on to our next question. Cassie, did I purchase the yearbook?
Well, the great thing, Erica, is that you can check this from your own account as a parent, and you as chief editor can also go in and check for it. So your top view here is what you see on your account. If you go in through your school account and to the all order screen, you have a list of everyone who has ordered in the community for this year, and you need to utilize your search option. Just type in the student's name or the parent's name, and you can bring up that order, and you can see that yes, Susie's mom ordered a yearbook or sorry, Bob's mom ordered a yearbook for them back on 7/30. So yes, you are good to go. You can also refer the parents to look in their own account. They do have access to it. So on the top right, where you have the option to switch between your chief editor and your personal view, they only have the personal view. So underneath that option, they will be able to go in through my stuff and have a list of any of their orders. You can see my example has some going back to 2022. So anything that they have purchased with the same email is going to be there on their account. They can open this up. They can see, that they have purchased the book for this year. And once it is shipped, it will let them know, that their yearbook should have been on the way, but it doesn't give them any of those specific details.
Can I still purchase last year's book?
Always. You can always purchase a yearbook. We have deadlines. Those are for you. Those are, you have that order deadline to get everything in so that most of the time the bulk is going to ship to you completely for free. The only difference in ordering after the deadline is there's definitely a shipping charge included. The other difference is just that if the parents want to do custom pages in their book, they have to make sure those are completed before that order is placed. Other than that, anytime they want to come back, whether it's 2 days past the deadline or they're reaching out in like 2 years, like a super slacker like me sometimes, but it's always available to go in and place that order.
One of the things I like to say about Treering is every year is a sellout year because we only print what you order. So you can tell your admin, hey, we sold out. I know Lauren, who just jumped off the call, they actually they did their bulk order and then they did another bulk order and they did a third bulk order to the school. And then she finally was just like, go online and buy it when they first switched. So there's a little bit of a culture change if you've never been a Treering school before. And I think it's awesome that you can order again and again and again. Your storefront is always open. Cassie, tell us about this flyer at the top of the screen. Where can I find this?
Yeah, so this in your flyer options that you do have, we've mentioned them earlier, but you do have free flyers. If you haven't used them earlier in the year, use them at the end of the year, and you can get the after deadline flyer to share, like at end of the year events. Or you can download it, attach it, to those emails, whatever you want to do for it. But it has the details about, purchasing and still being able to promote your yearbook, even though you're after that original deadline.
And something to point out, we had this question earlier today, is the QR code and the passcode will populate to your school. So it is a very specific marketing piece for you. Take advantage of that.
Absolutely.
Okay, what's the difference between recognition ads and custom pages?
So your custom pages, that's one of the reasons why, we all love Treering is because they allow you to customize in this unique personal copy of the yearbook. So whatever is in those pages are only going to be in that student's copy of the book. If Billy's mom creates pages and Tommy's mom creates pages, each of those students only has the pages that were created for them. So each 2 pages is completely for free. They have the option to go in and add more pages if they do want to, but that is something that everyone can utilize. With the recreational ads, with the recognition ads, these will print in everyone's copy of the book, and you as editor have control over multiple things about the recognition ads. You can limit what size you want to offer to the community, whether it's all the way as small as an eighth of a page or a 2-page spread. You can choose that. You choose how much they're going to cost, because you can set this as a fundraiser for your school. If you want them to be free, if you don't want to charge anyone for them, you don't have to. You can set them to be free, but otherwise you can use them as an additional fundraiser. And the big thing about these are just that you have to make sure that you are accounting for room in the core book pages for those recognition ads, because they are not just separate pages, they are in the core book. So just make sure that you account for those. And another thing is that of course you can limit who has access to these ads by grade level. So a super common option is the graduating class, the 5th grade, the 8th grade, your seniors, to just allow them to go in and access ads. Erica, you have a cool setup at your school about
We
recognition
do.
ads?
I offer a free quarter page to every graduating senior. That way, if there's financial reason why their parents can't purchase a larger one, they still get to be in there. Or maybe their parent is a lot like me and is working on custom pages and doesn't prioritize the ad. They still get that quarter page. It's in every book. And then if you want to upgrade, if your parent's a little bit extra, also like me, but you can pay extra to get a half page or a full page.
I love that. I love, and trying to keep everyone included. And again, the big thing with ads is just making sure that you have enough space in your book. Custom pages are as many as they want. You can do both. You can do either. But it's what will work best for your school and your school's needs.
Yes, and I think one thing that we might not have said is both as a editor, you can review the content in both.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so how do I add another student or update the enrollment for an existing student?
So every year, when you sign back into Treering, you as an editor, you have like a welcome back screen that asks you to update the book's details, or make any changes there. Parents have something similar for the personal side of their account when they log back in. The right side of this screenshot shows you what it looks like on like their kind of welcome back screen, and where they have the ability to add a new school, or to update the grade level or anything like that. Now, if you do need to add, if your school moves from the elementary school to the middle school, that both use Tree Ring, you're going to have a new passcode for the middle school. You have to make sure you do have that passcode to go in and update and get them added. On the left just shows where you can actually find this inside of the personal account. If it's not done at the start of the year, they can go into My Kids settings and they can update any of their students' information. They can add a new student, if they have the youngest of the bunch is just starting, they can go in and without needing, a different parent login or anything and keep all of your students inside of your one account.
So we do have a question from Sierra. She's wondering, is there a way that as editors, we can move people around?
Somewhat change the school and year of the students. If you're the parent of the student, you have access this way. As chief editor, you can't specifically go into a personal account and make those updates. That seems like a more specific question though, Sierra, if you wanted to potentially reach out to our support team. If there's some specific changes, we can definitely help with that.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to like promote kids from the elementary school to the middle school. That like if it's another school in the district, because we do allow you editors, that's why you have that passcode to keep your community your community.
Yep, absolutely.
So what are custom pages and how do they work? We talked about the difference between rec ads and custom pages. Now let's define those a little bit more.
So the custom pages are those 2 pages, again, that are just going in your copy, in your child's copy of the book. You can do, as little as or as much as you want to with them, but what you put on them, is up to you. No one else is going to see them if you don't want them to. They are just in your child's copy of the book. The first 2 completely for free. If you want to add more, it's $1.99 for each 2-page spread. And you can just use the free ones, or you can add a whole lot of additional ones like this photo shows off here.
We love this. This came from a school in Michigan. It's probably my favorite demonstration of what custom pages are. That book is completely unique from every other book in that pile.
Most definitely. William said in the chat he had a parent that got 20 extra pages in each of their children's books because they moved. I love that.
Can I copy pages from one kid's yearbook into another?
Absolutely. So sometimes you will have your multiple students, who are in the same school or maybe even at different schools, but you might start working on pages and, you start putting some family stuff on pages, maybe a trip that you've gone on, or, just photos with grandma and grandpa, aunts and uncles, stuff that you want to include on every child's pages. You don't have to recreate those pages for each student. You can create them first for, let's say, Gregory. And so then that way, when you go into Erickson and you have these pages, you can grab those pages from Gregory and pull them over. So when you're in your page viewer here for the student you want to copy them to, it's the add a blank page option at the very bottom, and then it will pop out this left menu where you have your regular templates, but you're going to want to go to My Pages, and then you have a drop-down filter that will show you anyone that you have access to. Now, you as chief editor, you'll also have any of the schools that you're linked to, they will show up here, but you just want to navigate, to the specific student. That's all the parents will see is their own students. And then once the pages load in that tray, you just drag and drop them over. It'll ask you if you want to make it a template. You only want to make it a template if you actually want to remove all the photos and the text. If you're wanting to just copy completely, make sure you click no so that everything will stay.
Is this a new feature, Cassie?
No, this has been around since I started about 8.5 years ago. The processes have changed a little bit along the way, but no, we have been able to do this for a while.
I learned this trick in our custom pages webinar that we do for parents, and it totally, I was like, oh man, now my kids are getting way more custom pages. So Cassie, Ed, and I, like I said, we're count on us to be part of your yearbook team. We do 2 custom pages webinars in the evening every spring for parents. So let us train your parents. Some people have been talking about having custom pages parties at school. If that's not something you want to lead, open up the computer lab, throw the 3 of us on the screen and be like, it's a custom pages party with Ed, Cassie, and Erica. Like, we're happy to do that with y'all. So check the yearbook club schedule in January. We'll have the second semester events all out there. Right now, we just have it through December.
Yeah, we gotta finish 2024 first, but yeah,
Let's get through
we'll
TRL
definitely
first, and then
we'll definitely be hosting those, and they're a lot of fun.
okay, what can I put on my custom pages?
You can put anything that you want on your custom pages. A lot of people are concerned that it can only be, what happens during the school year, like pictures of your kids from like the school parties or award ceremonies and stuff like that. And that's all great. And absolutely put those things in there, but you don't have to just use those things. I know I mentioned family stuff. Another great one that has been trending a lot is the artwork option, so that way you can have a history of a scanned art project or drawing that your child did instead of a overflowing folder that you'll feel bad if you ever lose, of all those drawings from the second grade.
That it's the tote of shame, right? Because you want to pitch it, but yeah. One of the things somebody was talking about appropriateness in chat, the rule at our school is if you can't wear it on campus, it can't be on your custom pages or in your ads. We are a private school, so that's part of the reason why there's just a standard, because you eventually, if that book's out in the community, it still has your school name stamped on it. Especially if you're a high school advisor, I would like to know what guidelines you give your school community. Drop that in the chat. Oh, I'm already seeing people do that. If you have any guidelines that you do, please share that, because that is a question we get.
Yeah, and like Erica mentioned, you do have access to review what is on custom pages. From your people section, you'll see an option that says review all student pages. If they have a book purchased and pages created, they will show up there for you. And we do suggest, that you make that one of your steps before you go print ready. Not just for, the checking of the content, but that way you can keep an eye out, if Billy's mom maybe looks like she has half done pages, you can give her a heads up, and let her know to come back and maybe finish adding more of her Halloween photos, or whatever she started and not completed.
Great. So how, as an editor or a yearbook advisor, how can I help my community answer their questions?
So we have talked about some of our resources today, but we just want to, come back to them because they are such great resources. The first is, you as editor, don't sleep on the yearbook blog. Make sure that you check that out, sign up for it. It's not going to be the greatest for your parents though. So with your parents, you mostly are going to want to send them to the help center. We have discussed about how you do have to be logged in for you to see the help center as editor, but not for your parents. When they just click on the link and it takes them to this page, this is going to give them information about everything that they need. They don't have to log in to access any of these resources. We have them sorted by, like sections here for them. And when you are communicating things about your yearbook, you can definitely include some of these articles with them, especially like the creating custom pages is great, or the buying a yearbook for the current year, are all great resources for you to send to your parents. And we also, I know we've talked about you guys reaching out for help as editors. We will support your parent community as well. If they scroll down to the bottom of this screen, there is an option to submit a help ticket, and we will follow back up. Or they can also email directly at support@treering.com, and send us an email, and we will follow up that way.
This is just a reiteration that you still have your own help center. Like you've seen, there's a different view for advisors, there's a different view for parents. So we try not to commingle the resources to make it clear for you.
Yeah, because parents like we've discussed, the parents don't see exactly what you see in their account. So your help articles for certain things are not helpful for them. So it will just cause more confusion when they don't understand why they don't see the view spreads option on their pages. So we do like to keep it a little separate.
You